kekuatan dan kesembuhan.
Amin, amin ya rabbal alamin.
Al-Hadiniyah niyatin sholihah. Al-Fatihah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim.
A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma shalli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama shallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim wa barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma firli wa lilidayya warhamhum kama rabbayani shaghira. Rabbana ghfirham wa anta khairur rahimin. Ya Rabb, berilah ampunan dan berilah rahmat. Engkaulah pemberi rahmat yang terbaik. Rabbana innana amanna faghfir lana dzunubana wa qina adzabannar. Ya Rabb kami benar-benar beriman, maka ampunlah dosa-dosa kami dan lindungilah kami dari azab neraka. Dzalamna anfusana wa illam taghfir lana wa tarhamna lanakunanna minal khasirin.
Amin.
Ya Rabb kami telah menzalimi diri kami sendiri. Jika Engkau tidak mengampuni kami dan beri rahmat kepada kami, niscaya kami termasuk orang-orang yang rugi. Rabbana amanna faqtubna ma'asyahidin. Ya Rabb, kami telah beriman, maka catatlah kami bersama orang-orang yang menjadi saksi atas kebenaran Al-Quran dan kenabian Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rabbi zidni ilman. Ya Rabb,
Amin, amin.
tambahkanlah ilmu kepadaku. Rabbis rohli sodri wa yassirli amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Ya Rabbku, lapangkanlah dadaku dan mudahkanlah untukku urusanku dan lepaskanlah kekakuan dari lidahku agar mereka mengerti perkataanku. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adzabannar. Ya Rabb kami, berilah kami kebaikan di dunia dan kebaikan di akhirat, dan lindungilah kami dari azab neraka.
Amin, amin.
Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. Subhanaka rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Al-Fatihah.
A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Arrahmanirrahim. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Mr. Difran. Now we come to the presentation of material by the speakers, who will be moderated by Ms. Sidatul Buduri. In the end of panel session, moderator will give the certificate to all of the speakers. Ms. Sidatul Buduri is a psychiatric nursing lecturer in the Faculty of Nursing and Midwifery, Unesa. To Ms. Sidatul, time is yours.
Maybe still in mute mode.
Sorry for the technical constraints. Please wait for Ms. Sidatul.
Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah.
Thank you, Ms. Yurika. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here this morning and welcome to International Webinar, Current Issue and Future Trend in Nursing and Midwifery, held by Nursing at Midwifery Faculty, Nahdlatul Ulama University, Surabaya. I am Sridatul Buduri, the moderator of the sessions. Speaking about current issue and future trend in nursing at midwifery, it's really challenging us today because, you know, everything was running well, but now the COVID-19 hit us and it's changed everything. It changed how to behave in social interaction, and it changed in how to teaching and learning during pandemic, especially in class or in labs. So it's challenging us not as a lecturer, but also as students. So we have to improve their skill, especially in nursing and midwifery student. They have credit skill, and but student it's not allowed, that they prohibited to enter the hospital now. So today we're lucky to have 4 speakers who really expert in their subjects. First, we have Dr. Zamzaliza Abdul Mulut from University Technology Mara, Malaysia. Good morning, Dr. Zam. Second, we have Ms. Rohani Mamat from University Malaysia Sabah. Good morning, Ms. Rohani. Third, we have Dr. Tichen Chang from Nursing College, Taipei Medical University. Good morning, Dr. Tichen. And the last one is Bunani Handayani, Head of Midwifery Bachelor Program, Nahdlatul Ulama University, Surabaya. Good morning, Bunani. Before the presentation begins, I would like to tell you about the rule. First, to all the participants, you have to mute your speaker. You have to turn off your microphone during the webinar. And after the presentation over, we'll have a Q&A or question and answer session, and the link will be shared by the committee later. And for the 4th speaker, we have only 20 minutes to you to deliver your presentation. Now, I would like to read the first speaker curriculum vitae. First is Professor Dr. Zamzaliza. Dr. Zamzaliza Abdul Mulut, PhD, nationality, she's from Malaysia. Position now she's Head Center of Nursing Study, Faculty of Health Science, University Technology Mara, Selangor. She got PhD from University College Cook Islands, and she got Master in Nursing from Gerontological Nursing from Griffith University, Australia, and she got the Bachelor of Nursing from University Malaysia and the Diploma from University Science Malaysia. She has so much publication, especially that was indexed by Scopus, and if the all participants curious about her publication journal, maybe you have to find the journal in Scopus ID, and you can read by yourself the Scopus ID. That's all the simple and short CV from Dr. Zamzaliza Abdul Mulut, PhD. Now, with the post-COVID-19 nursing education, designing and delivering effective teaching, please welcome Dr. Zam.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Moderator. So first, can you see my slide?
Okay.
Okay, good. So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to everyone. Yeah. So, thank you to the organizing committee for inviting me for this today's sessions, and then congratulations for the success of organizing this webinar. Yeah. So, I saw there's a huge participants, so I assume this is a very successful webinar. Okay, the topic that I want to share with all of you is related to the post-COVID-19 nursing education, designing and delivering effective teaching. And I am Zamzaliza Abdul Mulud from University Technology Mara, Malaysia. So as we know that COVID-19 has affected so many of us, especially in relation to the education, not only nursing, but all program has affected by the COVID-19. Yeah. So for your information, in Malaysia, the spread of COVID-19 is under control because of for the past 2 weeks, we only have a single digits number of cases. Yeah. Yeah, so and then most of them are the foreigners. So we hope that we can maintain this situation and then we can start the new norms like what we have before. So the topics that I want to share with you are related to our experiences in delivering the online teachings during this COVID-19, and then our experiences in because we also have one program in bachelor degree that offered in flexible modes, meaning that most of the instruction, most of teaching happens in online methods. Okay, so for the overview, since the spread of COVID-19 in December, and then in March 18, 2020, our government has enforced the movement orders controls. So at this point, there was 790 cases of COVID-19 across Malaysia. So we don't want to overburden our health facilities. So the government has ordered for the MCO. And then during this time, the nursing programs made a difficult decision to remove students from practicums as well as from the classrooms in the campus. So the students were asked to go back to their homes, to their parents' home, and then only some of them still live in the campus to follow the online courses. And then University Technology Mara has moved all classes to open and distant learning, effective from April 13 until end of this semester. End of this semester is actually in August. So we only have from the enforcement of MCO until the implementation of ODL or online learning, we only have 1 month to reorganize back our programs in order to be offered in online methods. So, and then currently our Ministry of Higher Education has instructed all the universities, all the programs to be conducted via online methods until end of this year. So we don't have any choice. So we need to adapt with these new norms and new ways of teaching. Okay, so for the introductions, from all of these factors, what do you think the most important factors that contribute to the effectiveness of online class? Is it the technology, the learning management system, course or curriculum design, resources, student and instructors? So if you can see that all of these factors are very important to ensure that the class that been offered online are effective and then students can achieve their course learning outcomes. So for example, for the technology, we are so lucky because on today's world, the technology available make us easier to conduct online or visual classes. And then because we have various programs, various applications that can help us in our teaching and learning. And then the students themselves, they are fully equipped and they are skillful in technology compared to 10 or 20 years ago. Okay, and then the learning management system or LMS is also important because of this is important platform that we are going to use in order to deliver our teachings and in order to upload notes and conduct other activities or tasks related to teachings. And then I think the most important part is also the design and course and curriculum designs. So because of before COVID-19, the nursing program, we offered it face-to-face, conventional method, face-to-face. So now when we need to change the delivery of our teaching via online, we need to make some changes to the curriculums. maybe the course learning outcome or the contents are we not change anything, but we need to change on how we deliver the instruction, how we deliver the lectures, and then the assessment, how we need to fit it into the online system. The resources, students need to have their laptops, students need to have their textbook. As I mentioned before, students need to go back to their parents' house. So the thoughts they expect at the beginning of NCO that this won't take any only short periods of time, but they don't realize that the online learning will be carried until end of this year. So they haven't prepared anything. So sometimes students have problem with the resources. Okay, and then another important factors is to ensure student engagement because of students are at their own house. So they do a lot of self-centered study. So meaning that they need to engage with our learning. So as instructors also we need to have skills, skill on how we can deliver information to make the learning fun so students can engage with our teaching. So these are the process of online teaching. First, we need to plan, implement, next to evaluate our designs, to refine and improve. As you can see that the process is not a linear process. It didn't start from A and end to Z. It's like a continuous process of planning, implementation, evaluate, refine, and improve. Okay, because of COVID-19 has spread rapidly around the world, the instruction for conducting online learning has been given in a short period of time. For example, for us, it's around a month that we need to rearrange and redesign our instruction to match the online teachings. So we did some amendments to our design. This one is the examples of UITM, University of Technology Mara, what we did to fulfill the requirement by our Ministry of Health and as well as by the universities. So we need to develop a different session plan compared to the face-to-face because now we need to decide whether to implement class synchronized or asynchronized, to develop activities that can fit the online teachings, and then to make sure that student participants are enhanced. Okay, and then so for the plannings for teaching and learning, is if you want to implement, you need to look back at your curriculum and syllabus. So maybe you can use the same curriculum, the same syllabus, but you need to make adjustment, especially at the instruction parts. If your class, for example, you need to conduct 6 hours class per week for your conventional face-to-face classes, but for online teaching, it is quite difficult for you to do face-to-face via online with the students because of the common problems affected the student are their internet connectivity. Sometimes they don't have stable internet connectivity to maintain for 2 hours or 3 hours classes. So you need to look back at the design of your curriculums. Okay, and then teaching method also you need to look back, especially when you want what type of platform that you want to use to deliver your teachings. Student preparedness and acceptance. For example, in UITM, before we implement online learning, the university has conducted a massive survey to the student. For your information, UITM is the largest university in Malaysia. We have branches in each of our country and states. So based on this survey, almost 35,000 respond to this survey. And then they found that 70% are ready for online teachings. So what about the other 30%? So we, the instructors, the lecturers were instructed by universities, we need to achieve another 30% in whatever means. If you have to post the notes, if you have to contact them via text, you need to contact the student. We need to achieve it. Achieve the student. So we believe that no one should left behind. For the instructors, the schools or the faculty have provide us with lots of trainings, and because of some of us, they are not familiar with online teaching and so on, and then they are always conducted our education academic affairs have conducted a lot of training to the instructors. Okay, so this after we have implemented 1 or 2 weeks of the online classes, we asked the student about their feedbacks. So most of students found that is challenging because they are at home. They have parents, they have siblings, so they can't focus to their studying because there's a lot of distractions. Okay, and then the student with poor connections have a difficulty to follow the video conferences, but lecturers were encouraged to share their video recording or the notes in the other method, for example via WhatsApp groups or telegrams. Okay, so and then another student also found that the classes, the preferred classes held outside the designated timetable, because a student need help with house chores or work to help their parents gain extra income, as they are greatly affected by the movement control orders. They have difficulty to follow this synchronized class. Okay, so next, what you need to consider during the implementation of the online classes is the learning management system, or also known as LMS. So LMS is a platform that includes communications, content delivery, and assessment tool to facilitate the teaching and learning process. So, but I would like to advise you for a group of students, maybe there's a semester 1 student that enrolled for 5 subjects, 5 courses. Maybe you can standardize the use of the same LMS, so that student might not get confused. Okay, so these are the examples of LMS that has been used by UITMs. We have, I think, more than 2. But these 2 are the common LMS, iLearn and iClass. We can choose whatever LMS that we are comfortable with. Okay, so these are the example, the content of the LMS. So as you can see, there's a lot of activities that we can do in the LMS. This one is iClass. So we can post announcement, upload notes, we can do the discussion, student can submit the assignments, and then the quiz, the test, all can be conducted in this LMS. And then for the student participation, we can monitor their participation by looking at the statistic, whether or not student have posted anything in this LMS. Okay, so another LMS is Google Classroom. Google Classroom is the easiest. I think it is most easier to navigate. So because of if the LMS so difficult for the student to find the contents, so difficult to navigate, student might get frustrated. Frustrated and irritated student, they are least likely to learn anything. So Google Classroom is also, I think, is also the easiest LMS that we can use. Okay, there's also another LMS, Microsoft Teams, also can be used as the for your teaching and learning. Okay, so in terms of implementation, another factors that you need to consider is whether or not to implement your class synchronous or asynchronous. Asynchronous means learning in teaching do not happen at the same time. So asynchronous, synchronous means that all students maybe we can conduct the class via Zoom or Google Meets or Microsoft Teams. All students are at the same time in one class. But asynchronous do not happen at the same time. It is more flexible because flexible is one of the main advantage offered by online learning. They can learn wherever time convenience to them. But for the asynchronous, I would like to suggest that the instructors to post a weekly announcement and then to provide the coming week's topic or recap the previous week's work or both. So the responsibility of the instructors is to respond to the questions posted, the online question, and answer discussion forum. So maybe you can give a time frame, say you need to answer all questions given by the student within 24 hours. So this one to make sure that the student can get answered promptly. Okay, so and then another things that you can do is to post a quick video to clarify misconceptions about class topic or assignment. It's just a short video, maybe 2 to 3 minutes, just to clarify what they're confused about. Yeah. Okay, so you need also to grade and return student works in timely fashion, so that student can have their that they can get the feedbacks promptly. Talk with students in online discussion, because of when the instructors are regularly present and engaged in the online classroom, the students are more likely to be too. And so don't leave the student without any help. So you need to make a regular discussion with the student. Okay, so
excuse me, Dr. Zam.
Yeah.
Hello, Dr. Zam.
Yes.
You have 5 minutes left.
Oh, okay. Okay, so these are our synchronized class examples. Yeah. So with asynchronous, what you can do is to record your lectures using the recordings apps, and then you can upload it on Facebook so that student can view it at their convenience time. Yeah. For the practical, we know that nursing and hands-on are inseparable. So we don't have any choice because student cannot come back to their campus for teaching. So what we did was we record all the procedures, the nursing skills, and we upload it in our YouTube and nursing UITM. So if you want to watch our videos, you can go to our YouTube. Okay, so these are the effective ways to stimulate teaching. All of these are important because of students are learning. Each student, they are learned differently. So some students, they like to listen to what the lecturer said, and then some of them learn via discussion and other means. So don't rely on only one type of instruction. For example, you just post the PowerPoint and expect students to learn from that PowerPoint. Please use the various methods of teaching. Okay, effective communication, use multiple channels. For example, I also use the telegrams to communicate with the groups. Because of telegrams, it has so many tasks that we can do. We can do the quick polls, we can conduct quiz, and then we can give them all the feedbacks. Students find this type of teaching is very interactive and very fun. Okay, evaluation, same as the classroom, except for the evaluation should be done online. So I just want to share this one, preparation for the student, because not all students are exposed with the online test before. So they need to practice. So what you can do is you can post a video that walk through the steps on how to answer the online test. And then give them a practice quiz to help the student learn. And then if there any problem, you need to be available to help the student. Because I face many issues related to the online test, students getting so struggle, and then their anxiety, and then their meltdown due to the inability to answer the online test because of due to many problems. Okay, so another issues related to online test is about the security, because we are not conducting it face-to-face. So how to make sure that the online test is secure enough? So you need to place the academic policy statement in the test instructions. Of course, all of us, all universities, all colleges, they have their academic policies related to the test or exams. Set the timer and present one question at a time. So meaning that they cannot backtracking, go back to the previous questions. Randomize the response option, and then randomize the question, and then create more than one version of test. So I have known another methods to conduct test securities using Zoom. Students need to answer the question, and then but they need to open their cameras in Zoom so that the instructors can monitor their behavior during the test. So you need to give a longer window period. For example, even though the test only takes 1 hour, maybe you can open the test for 24 hours. So student can choose the time that convenience for them, so that there are less distractions for them to answer the test. So my student commonly they will answer the test during the midnight because it is less distraction and then it's so quiet. And then they have a very stable internet connection when less people using it. Okay, so this effective online instructors. So I think all of us know that these are the characteristics of effective online instructors. So for example, resourceful, you need to know all the answers to the students' concerns or questions. And then supportive and patient, because students are not familiar with this type of instructions. Sometimes they don't have any competencies in using IT and so on. We need to be patient and support the students. Efficient, we be able to do the multitasking, adaptable and innovative. For my own experience also, when conducting the online teaching, I've learned a lot about the IT, especially how to create YouTube channels and so on. So we need to be innovative in order to make the learning fun for the students. Okay, so of course, there's some challenges, and then the first and foremost is related to the unstable internet connectivity. This is the common question, not for the students, for the instructors as well. Inadequate internet facilities, problem with technologies, limited computer literacy is not only for the student, but also to the educators. Challenges in peer support, especially students, they are alone in their own house, so they have no support from their peers, especially in doing the assignments and during their revision and study for their tests. Okay, and then concern for effective and prompt student teaching, and then teacher-centered approach. Commonly, the instructors employ the teachers-centered approach instead of student-centered approach. Because of during online learning, students need to be self-motivated in order to motivate them for study. So the purpose or the responsibility of the instructors is to give them continuous support. Okay, I think that's all for my sharing a session. So thank you so much for listening. So I send back to the Madam Moderators. Thank you.
Thank you for Dr. Zam for presentation. I think that we have similarity about the student problem, especially internet connection. So here we are, the certificate for Dr. Zam. Maybe Mbak Goldie, please share screen the certificate. Okay, this is the certificate for Prof. Zamzalisa Abdul Muhid as speaker. Thank you, Dr. Zam.
Thank you. Welcome.
Okay. Now we turn to the second speaker. And here we go, the curriculum vitae. Please, the curriculum vitae from Ms. Rohani. Mbak. Sabah. So we have still have here we are the CV, the education. Maybe I would like to read the first. In 2015, Ms. Rohani got her Master in Science from University Science of Malaysia, and in 25, got Bachelor Nursing from University Kebangsaan Malaysia, and about the position, now he's lecturer at University Malaysia Sabah, but in 2019, he's head of advanced diploma program for midwifery from University Kebangsaan Malaysia Medical Center. About publication, actually she has so much journal or article, but I only read 2 journal or publication just in 2019. So one of his journal is Perception of University Malaysia Sabah Student Nurse Toward Underage Marriage. So I think it's similar with Indonesia, because Indonesia has a same problem like underage marriage. So we have similarity in that topic. So that's all for the simple CV from Ms. Rohani. Now, with the topic, how to improve clinical skin in future trend, please welcome Ms. Rohani.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and very good morning.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you, the committee, for having me here today. Okay, the topic was given to me is actually how to improve midwifery skill in future trend. Okay, so let's see. Next. Okay. Just to share with all that regarding midwifery in Malaysia, so we actually have this midwifery in Malaysia. We followed the British model since 1960 now, and that time we already developed our licensings and regulations, and create our own act in for Midwife Act. So to say that the midwifery is so far we started in Malaysia since then. But at that time, I just want to highlight midwifery is very important. It become one of the requirement for promotion. Okay, so all nurses that time have to go for midwifery before they enter other advanced courses that they are into, like CCU or ICU. So questions about either you have midwifery or not, that time there's no questions. All nurses have to go for midwifery, then they further up. Okay, but in 2005, our policy was changed to that is open for all them nurses to be to go for further either in midwifery or other specialization. Okay, and at that time we found out, now at that time you can easily find that a lot of midwife, a lot of in the level of from the below services led to all the countries. Means we have midwifery there. You can see you can have a lot of midwife in Malaysia. Okay, why I'm concerned with this? Why I'm concerned with the midwifery courses, nurses with midwifery, because that time, this is the time that we actually have good collaboration with obstetrician to reduce numbers of maternal mortality. So saying to that, the next slide is saying to that, we can see that in 2019 we reduced midwifery. We reduced the maternal mortality. Okay, so that we're proud of, that what we actually are proud of in Malaysia. But talking to that, the next slide, please. Next slide. I think here is just to show that the perinatal is lowest in Malaysia, it's only 4.3. So I believe this is a good collaboration within obstetrician and also midwife. Okay, but talking about how to improve the skill and how actually we need to maintain the safety of conducting or doing the procedure of midwifery skill. So we come up with advanced diploma in midwifery for the next slides. Before that, just to highlight, just to share, this program is only post basic, but its duration is 1 year. But nowadays, we have advanced diploma in midwifery. There is 1 year duration with 2 semesters with so full-time courses. That for this course, you cannot enter it as part-time student. Entry requirement, post diploma in nursing means every nurses who want to join our program, they need to do the nursing basic first for 3 years. And then they have to go for another working experience for 2 years, registered with Malaysian Nursing Board, and they have to make sure they have their annual practicing certificate every year so that it maintains the practice. Then they can join our advanced diploma in midwifery. This is how actually we try to make it sure that the skill is there. Okay, but if I can share here is midwifery in Malaysia, we actually was confined by our Malaysian Nursing Board. So clinical placement for our nursing student is shouldn't minimal them 12 weeks. For 1 year clinical, so minimum is on minimum posting for student is 12 weeks. We cannot reduce below than that. Okay. The next one is, so what's the challenges? I would like to talk about this. Based on this pandemic and everything, all this why we said that, okay, the student need to go for clinical posting. Okay, but now with the pandemic, there is a question when actually student can be placed to posting. Here in Malaysia, most of our institution, we actually run our program without hospital. We send our student to another institution, another hospital government for clinical practice. So the challenges here is we are using another place to send our student for clinical posting. So we have to. I wanted to throw these questions. It's not easy it's not easy to have a student to other place, where and then the place also actually was sharing with another student from another institution, such as there will be more than 2 and 3 group in one time placing in a place of placing in the same ward at the same unit. Just to highlight, we are not having that kind of 20 to 30 bed of delivery suite. So a few students just can be sent. It's about 1 or 2. The ratio that we can send is only 1 to 4 students at one time to posting or to unit that we send the student. Okay, so I would like to highlight also the challenges regarding the facility problem. I mean, when we're talking about government hospital and we're talking about private hospital, there is a different in their updated of technology equipment that they're being used. So the challenges here is we need to see when the student been sent to the government hospital, they learn differently what actually work to the student that sent to the private hospital that they already update, the one that I have the update equipment. So we need to think about this. And also the number of students, 20 to 30 students per intake. As previously, I did mention that previous nurses in Malaysia, they have to go for midwifery. So there is no question about do you have a midwifery or not. Means every nurses, they have the midwifery. But now the number is reduced because now most of nurses not came. It's not to say that they are not interested in midwifery. They actually when they actually banding compare within to go for midwifery or to go another course, midwifery take 1 year longer courses. Otherwise, the other courses only 6 months. So we have a reduced number of midwifery among Malaysia nurses nowadays. Then it comes to my concern about reducing number of experienced midwifery teacher. Now, when talking about midwifery teacher, they are big nowadays. A lot of our midwifery teachers have been pensioner. They actually they have actually go to further up to another country. They've been employed by other countries. So we have actually difficulty. We have a difficulty in this having experienced midwifery teacher. If as far as I can remember, if I can share with all the others, when I work in UKM, we only have about 3 midwifery lecturers with midwifery background. Now in UMS, we are lucky we have more than 5. It's only more than 5 midwifery teachers. Okay, the next slide. Instead, on top of that, we need to think what actually does midwifery student need. They need midwife educator that update about the teaching and learning strategy. I agree with Prof. Samsaliza regarding that the lecturer need to be updated about classroom teaching, online and everything. Everybody need to learn how to do all the assessment, how to give a lecture to the student via online. This is something new to all of us. It's not to say that it's not. We cannot say that, oh, because I'm not good in IT, so maybe you help me to teach. Cannot. Means everybody need to learn. Everybody need to use the update online teaching through the classroom teaching. So I'm not going to say a lot about it because the Prof. Samsaliza is already talked about it, and also about that clinical setting. The question, we need to improve our clinical setting when we teach the student. Previous one, when we actually do a face-to-face, we bring the student come to our skill lab, and then we set up. When we set up all the equipment, we have the lecturers and CI together with the student to learn. But now, how actually we can come up with a good clinical setting so that we can view, we can put online so that easy for student to understand. Okay, so there is a study saying that actually I also agree with this. Educator and mentor provide adequate support and feedback to the student. Nowadays, student was not here with us. We need to actually get to actually stay maintain and contact our student either through WhatsApp or either through online chat, online meeting, something like this. So I want to highlight this when it is a teacher's major responsibility to treat student properly. So we cannot say that, oh, okay, I already highlight giving you this for you to learn, but why don't you take opportunity to read and learn from whatever I give to you? Students maybe have their own problem. So we need to understand what actually student problem. So this support throughout from the beginning until the end, until you know that student is actually be with you already, be with you the same level with your whatever you want and student achieve. Okay, talking about adequate time to practice, student need adequate time to practice. Previous one, when face-to-face, we come to student clinical, when student come to skill lab, we have time, we can make sure that the student actually understand in front of us, isn't it? But now, how much time that we want to give to the student, we actually we need to spend our own time longer. So there's no questions either. Okay, I'm just working from 8 to 5. It's no more. We have to spend time with the student. Maybe if student call or student ask to be with you at the night time, then I think as a lecturers, as a mentor, we need to spend our time. So reduce stress in the learning environment. There is one I have this situation before. When the student came to us and saying that I don't know, maybe CI or maybe another nurses who has been in the ward, they are not treat them well. I mean something like if they do a mistake and then they actually you know, in front of patient, you condemn them in front of that, so it's actually it's not very nice to be done to the student. We need to reduce student stress and training in the learning environment. So next. So what actually we can do? I believe that we need to empower our midwife. Before this, midwife can make decision. They can run. Actually, if we understand what actually midwife actually midwife can actually make decision. For midwife is the one who actually care of mother with a normal cases. So we need to empowering our midwife so that when they actually satisfied with their profession, so they will help our student. So there is no more sorry. What I want to say here is when nowadays what actually happen is every time in the labor room, what happened, although to set up a drip or although to do VE, vaginal examination for the mother, normal cases. Nowadays there is something like protocol to call doctors and come to do the VE for the patient. I believe midwife can make decision, can do that on their own responsibility. So they need to they need accountable. They need to have that decision power. Establish optimal clinical environment. So as I think we all agree that staff should be trained to become more student oriented. So nowadays, our student is not the primary student. They are adult enough. They actually with adult learning, we can have a good discussion and good learning situation with a student. Provide program for expanding the clinical instructors for further educational and clinical skill. I think this is not questionable. It cannot be questionable. Definitely, we have to send every staff, every clinical instructor to further up their study, so that we can improve with our teaching to student. Next. Okay, consistent instructor for clinical education. So I think this is I believe in this because this can reduce confusion on seeing different way of doing things. What happened now actually, we send students to a different hospital with changing of the instructor, changing of the lecturer sometimes. So it's not easy because definitely definitely we need to increase numbers of students. So numbers of lecturers, sorry, numbers of educated numbers of lecturers, and allow students to be with clinical and coaching by a clinical. So here I believe it's good to have the same. It's good to have the same clinical instructors that working in the ward, as well as clinical staff, so that so that whatever happened in that clinical, any update, any changes of policy is being updated, then can be shared to the student. What happened is when currently most of us, our CI or lecturer, we are working in university. So when we actually go and see the students, sometimes there is a time that updated what happened in the hospital was, we don't know. We're not aware of it. So we need time to adjust and learn that time, and then we can share. So I believe if consistent instructor be there in the clinical, be part of the ward itself, so better education and better learning for students. So method performing procedure should be unified. I would like to suggest a package that being used here in the academy, in the school, and the same package also going to be used as what being applied in practical. I mean, we can have this discussion within practical staff, from hospital staff. We come up with our own package. We come up with a unified package so that students know what actually been taught in school, and the same thing, procedure and SOP was happened and applied the clinical. So this can, what I'm saying is, I would like to suggest that minimize the gap between school and clinical education. Saying to that, a good collaboration within clinical staff and academic staff, it can enhance, it can help students with their skill and their knowledge. So I think that is what I would like to share and suggest, but I open to our discussion, because I believe it's not easy to achieve all these things. It's not easy that to have a group of academic staff who actually at the same time working also in the clinical environment. I think that's from me. Thank you for listening. So I open for discussion. Maybe we can have a better idea. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. for the great presentation. And please, Ms. Goldie, to share the certificate for Ms. Rohani. So here we are, the certificate to Ms. Rohani Mamat as a speaker. Thank you so much, Ms. Rohani. The Q&A session will have in the end of the presentation after the first speaker has done. So now we turn to the third speaker with the topic envisioning the future of global health nursing. Here we are from the Nursing College, Taipei Medical University, Prof. P. Chen Chang. Please slide to show. Here is the CV Prof. P. Chan's. Nationality, she's from Taipei, Taiwan. The position now, he's associate professor from Taipei Medical University. Education, he got her PhD from University of Texas at Austin, USA, and he got the master from University of Arizona, Tucson, USA, and he got the bachelor from National Taipei University. One thing that she got big achievement in her life is in 2019, she got Teaching Excellence Awards from Taipei Medical University as a great lecturer. So she got the achievement in 2019. Prof. Pichen, are you there? Prof. Pichen? Hello, Prof. Pichen? Prof. Pichen, are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, of course. Now we
Okay.
can see your face clearly. So with envisioning the future of global health nursing, please welcome Prof. Pichen.
Should I control my screen?
Of course, you can control by yourself.
Okay, great. Thank you for your invitation. Actually, I had a visit to UNUSA during 2017, November 22nd for student recruitment. So it's a great honor to be a speaker for today's webinar. Today, my topic is envisioning the future of global health nursing. For my presentation, I'm going to divide it into two parts. The first part, I'm going to talk about the evolving of the term global health and global health nursing. And then in the second part, I'm going to talk about the transforming curriculum for global health nursing, experience sharing from Taipei Medical University. So that's my presentation. I think, yeah. For a very famous article from Dr. Kaplan published in the Lancet toward a common definition of global health. He mentioned that there's not a lot of discussion about global health. However, it's not very few definition of global health. And he mentioned global means any health issue that concerns many countries or is affected by transnational determinants such as climate change or urbanization. Epidemic infection disease such as dengue, influenza, or HIV infection are global too. Global health should also address like tobacco control, micronutrient deficiencies, obesity, injury prevention, migrant worker health, and migration of health workers. The global in global health refer to the scope of problem, not their location. So we are talking about the scope of the health problem. Next. Okay. Dr. Copeland proposed the following definition. Global health is an area for study, research, and practice that place a priority on improving health and achieving health equity in health for all people worldwide. Okay, so there's a difference between international health and global health. International health is more focused on health system, policy, and practice with a lot of differences between countries. However, global health is more like look at the common health challenge shared across countries. Global health actually is multidisciplinary, and so the global health extend the scope and impact of the work, from domestic health issues to crossing borders and continents. So global health engage in translational solutions and engage many disciplines in promoting the goal of health. That we say is multidisciplinary, it's an interprofessional collaboration. So the profession of nursing, as the largest number of the global health professional, has a critical contribution to offer in global health. Here is another paper by Dr. Freight. He suggests that public health has a unique role in creating global health. Actually, public health principles are foundational to global health approaches. So global health and public health are indistinguishable. And he also talked about how population health is changing globally from the year 2030 to 2050. That will include the health challenges related to longevity and aging, chronic disease, including non-communicable and commutable, the physical environment and climate change, the built environment and urbanization, disaster and conflict, shifting food source and water and food security, population migration, disparity and vulnerable population. So there's one very important event that launched the focus on global health and subsequently global medicine and global nursing efforts. That's the Alma-Ata Conference in 1978. The Declaration of Alma-Ata affirmed that health as human right, recognizing the inequality of health among those living in low resource and resource-rich countries. The Declaration of Alma-Ata put primary care at the center or attempts to improve the health of all. So when we talk about globalization and nursing, what are our concerns? There's a paper by Dr. Kriegers, 2006, mentioned two key concepts. One is world citizenship. The other is nursing role as compassionate professional. So world citizenship, we are global citizen. World citizenship call nurses to critically evaluate personal and cultural-based belief. And compassionate professional call nurses to nurture partnership of mutual respect. A famous nursing scholar, Dr. Meininger, anthropologist, she said, globalization implies an ethical and moral obligation for professional nurses to enter and function in the worldwide community. It's important that nursing participate and support professional and international organizations that address social injustice related to health care, poverty, and public health. So nurses have to advocate for our clients. It is very important. So the discipline has made great advances in global healthcare as citizens of the world and compassionate nursing professional. The ultimate commitment of nursing is to empower individuals and communities of all cultures and social status to obtain an optimal level of health. So what kind of framework should we take to look at global nursing? There's an article by Dr. Austin. She talked about we are living in a global village. And the global context of nursing is linked to the advancement of technology and transportation, like we are having a webinar today. We don't have the distance, we use technology and we are here together. And what kind of issues we should be so concerned? Nurses need to reflect and act. She mentioned the first one, the influence of biotechnological advancement on the business industry. Just 20 years ago, June 26, 2000, the Human Genome Project announced the complete of DNA sequence. That advancement opened the door for incredible opportunity in terms of identifying individuals' genetic disease or stimulating a new development of biological therapeutic like vaccines, or even extending human longevity. However, the new knowledge may have a significant potential for abuse. So that's the reason she say nurses should reflect and act if any of the immoral happen. And the second is the demands of equity and justice in global resource allocation. Actually, the disease burden, 90% of them are located within the third world, developing country. However, there's only 10% of the resources for health get to go to these countries. So the globalization of the marketplace is resulting in greater, not lesser, marginalization of the poor. So we should have the big concern of the equity, of the justice, of global resource allocation. And the third one is the importance of an ethic that respects diverse cultures and values. Health challenges such as epidemics, infections, and chronic disease, as well as human distress caused by ethnic conflict, war, famine, and lack of access to safe water, are drivers for the expanding role of nursing to engage in our global world. So nowadays, most troubling is the fact that globalization is increasing the marginalization and poverty of the world's most vulnerable. So when we look at the phenomenon, it's poverty, not individual choice, that is driving extraordinary obesity level. Another article by Dr. Upwell addressed the intersection of international health, public health, and global nursing, define global nursing as individual or population-centered care, addressing social determinant of health with a spirit of cultural humility, deliberation, reflection in true partnership with community and other healthcare providers. So their conceptual model for partnership and sustainability for global nursing reflect the partnership process, the goal of sustainability of intervention in global effort. So their model include partner factor for nurses, which enrich the global projects that needs mutual goal setting, collaboration, empowering, capacity building. The global nursing effort should be bi-directional. The collaboration have to be bi-directional. Okay, these are many
Sorry, Prof. Pichen. Hello, Prof. Pichen.
Yes.
We have 5 minutes left.
Okay, great. Okay, so the great global health organization, that UN, WHO, all the CDC and nursing organization like ICN, all have their effort on our global health. So UN has a Millennium Development Goal. Following that, there's 2015. That's next. That's SDG. There's a shared blueprint of 17 goals, and only SDG 3, good health and well-being, inside the blueprint. Okay, there's 5 health issues identified as a global health concern for nurses: non-communicable disease, mental health, communicable disease, disaster prepare and response, maternal child health. Okay, this April, the published a State of the World Nursing, first ever, to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the birth of Florence Nightingale. The report provides the data for our action. The data collected from 193 countries. Describe the current status of nursing workforce. During the time of COVID-19, highlight nurses' vulnerability. We know nurses are backbone to health services worldwide. We really receive the attention, the visibility of nurses' contribution to the global health. For example, in Taiwan, Taiwan nurses learned from SARS 2003. And we learn from the lesson, and we respond to COVID-19 with nursing leadership, policy making, coordination between government and hospital, provision of skilled care and trusted resources, and establishment of the nurse-led quarantine care call center. So that's the contribution of Taiwan nurses. So I think it's very important to react to the rapid increase in globalization from nursing education. as we need to prepare our new graduates or future nurses, teach them how to collaborate with others to promote the achievement of universal health care coverage or the SDG. Okay, so that is so important to incorporate global health competency in nursing education. Let me show you how we do in Taipei Medical University. We increase opportunity for students to engage in international experience within the nursing curriculum, increase their preparation as global citizens. What we do is the following: international partnership, provide student exchange program, inviting visiting scholar to class and lecture, using technology to connect students across countries, building international research collaboration, developing partnership with international residents and immigrants and local community. Here are our international sister school. So we have international healthcare practicum. It's 4 weeks, credit bearing global clinical experience to send our students to different sister school. The program is to promote nursing students' observational learning experience within different countries' healthcare system and positively impact their global view. And we receive grant from Ministry of Education. That's what we did last summer. We sent 8 students to Cass Western Reserve University, 15 students to University of Texas Health Science Center at Houston, 4 students to Osaka, 2 to Quebec. And we also sent students to Australia, University of Sydney, University of Wollongong, Thailand, Mahidol, and Chiang Mai University. So during the global clinical experience, for example, the photo here is at University of Texas Health Science Center at Houston. Our students participate in their interprofessional education. That's a student from nursing, medicine, public health, dentistry, to join together for this education experience scenario. And they also go to the different health institute for their clinical experience. So I'm also the instructor for one course called Global Health and Transcultural Care. It's a 2-credit elective course. The course provides an overview of major issues facing global health and the implication for nursing profession. And I would like to introduce, we have international master and PhD program, and we offer scholarship for our students. So that's the reason I visit UNOSA 2017 November to interview students for their master degree or PhD degree. Actually, our student here have some I interview from Slovenia already got their master degree this semester and is going to continue their PhD here. So we have a lot of resources for our international students. We can see there's a Global Health Forum in Taipei. That's me and all my doctoral students. And our student with my dean to the ICN Congress at Singapore. And they participate in the Nursing Now campaign and get to know many, many international scholars at that conference. Here are our international visitors. Yeah.
The time is up.
Okay. I think there's some more activity at our school to promote our students' global health experience. Thank you. If you are interested in our school, please reach out to us, and we have a lot of resources we would like to share with you, collaborating with you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Pichen. Our really interested to join to Taipei Medical School, but maybe next time we will try to register to go to there. So, but speaking about COVID-19 in Taiwan, congrats to Taiwan, because Taiwan or Taipei is one of the best country that could face the COVID-19 all over the world. Once again, thank you so much for the great presentations. And now we have the last speaker from Nahdlatul Ulama University. The fourth speaker is with the title Optimization Midwifery Role in Pandemic Era. He's the simple CV from Nani Handayani MKes. Now he's head of midwifery bachelor program from Nahdlatul Ulama University Surabaya, and her education she got her Master of Health from Airlangga University in 2011, and now he's one of the committee from Indonesian Midwifery Association. With the optimization midwifery role in pandemic era, please welcome Bu Nani.
Thank you, Ms. Ida, for the time that given to me. In this good opportunity, I will deliver about optimization of midwife role in pandemic era.
Bu Nani, sorry, will you share your slide by yourself or the committee will do it?
Committee,
please. Miss Goldie, please. Thank you.
can you hear my voice, Ms. Ida?
Okay, absolutely. Your voice is so clear, Miss Bu Nani.
Okay. Penyebaran COVID-19. Please share screen.
Miss Goldie. Next slide, please. Okay.
Penyebaran COVID-19 berlangsung sangat cepat, baik di dunia maupun di Indonesia. COVID-19 tidak mengenal batas, dapat menyerang siapa saja tanpa kecuali, termasuk ibu hamil dan anak-anak. Selama masa pandemik COVID-19 dan menghadapi new normal, pelayan kebidanan harus tetap berjalan dengan berpedoman pada protokol kesehatan. Bidan sebagai garda terdepan dalam pelayanan KIAKB dalam mencapai pelayanan kesehatan yang optimal. So, bidan diharapkan menjalankan langkah-langkah kewaspadaan standar bagi semua pasien. Apakah pasien terpapar virus atau tidak? Next. Kita ketahui bahwa bidan seorang perempuan yang telah menyelesaikan program pendidikan kebidanan baik di dalam negeri maupun di luar negeri yang diakui oleh pemerintah. Bidan tidak seperti pekerja yang lain dalam kondisi pandemi COVID ini yang bisa bekerja di rumah. Peran bidan tidak berkurang, meskipun seorang bidan ini risiko terpaparnya sangat tinggi. Next. Kita ketahui bahwa peran bidan ini sebagai pemberi pelayanan kebidanan, sebagai pengelola pelayanan kebidanan, penyuluh dan konselor, dan Yang lain adalah sebagai pendidik, pembimbing, dan fasilitator klinik. Di samping itu, bidan adalah sebagai penggerak peran serta masyarakat dan pemberdayaan perempuan. Dan yang tidak kalah penting, bidan ini juga sebagai peneliti, apalagi di era pandemi COVID-19 seperti ini. Next. Sekarang kita lihat bagaimana peran bidan sebagai pemberi pelayanan kebidanan pada masa pandemi COVID-19. Jadi tidak seperti dulu pada saat sebelum masanya pandemi, bahwa pemeriksaan ANC ini, ibu hamil harus membuat janji dengan bidan melalui WA. Ya. Pelayanan ANC dilakukan sesuai dengan standar dan didukung dengan alat pelindung diri. Jadi jangan lupa kita sebagai pemberi pelayanan harus menggunakan APD dan tetap menerapkan prinsip-prinsip pencegahan. Dan apabila seorang bidan ini tidak siap APD, dia bisa berkolaborasi dengan puskesmas maupun rumah sakit terdekat. Bidan melakukan pengkajian secara komprehensif, termasuk pengkajian tentang informasi penularan COVID. Jika diperlukan, bidan dapat berkomunikasi dan bisa berkoordinasi dengan RT, RW, kepala desa, atau pimpinan daerah setempat tentang bagaimana status ibu saat itu. Dan jangan lupa, pada saat pelaksanaan pemeriksaan, ya, keluarga maupun pendamping harus menggunakan masker. Tidak seperti dulu pada saat sebelum pandemi. Ibu hamil diminta untuk menghubungi bidan ya melalui WA jika sudah ada tanda-tanda persalinan, sehingga seorang bidan ini sudah siap dengan APD-nya. Dan apabila bidan ini tidak siap APD, dapat berkolaborasi dengan puskesmas ataupun rumah sakit terdekat. Bidan memberikan pelayanan pada masa nifas dan asuhan bayi baru lahir, termasuk pemberian imunisasi. Ya, jadi pemberian imunisasi ini tetap harus dijalankan. Yang penting harus menerapkan prinsip-prinsip pencegahan penularan COVID-19. Dan untuk pelayanan KB, bidan ini harus tetap memberikan pelayanan secara terus-menerus. Next. Jadi, secara garis besar, rekomendasi yang dikeluarkan oleh PP POGI terkait dengan ANC, pada trimester pertama pemeriksaan antenatal tidak dianjurkan, kecuali dibutuhkan pemeriksaan USG bila ada kecurigaan kejadian kehamilan ektopik. Sedangkan pada trimester kedua pemeriksaan antenatal dapat dilakukan melalui online, ya, kecuali dijumpai keluhan atau kondisi gawat darurat. Nah, trimester ketiga ini pada usia kehamilan 37 minggu ke atas, ya, diperlukan antenatal karena pada saat ini untuk menyiapkan proses persalinan, termasuk di dalamnya adalah pemeriksaan laboratorium. Next. Nah, ini dari bisa kita lihat panduan pemeriksaan antenatal selama pandemi COVID. Ya, jadi di usia kehamilan trimester 1 itu bila diperlukan. Khusus untuk trimester ketiga ini perlu kita perhatikan bahwa ini perlu kita lakukan dengan cara via online tadi melakukan pemeriksaan antenatal care sesuai dengan perjanjian dengan bidan. Next. Di dalam pertolongan persalinan, semua persalinan saat pandemik ini harus dilaksanakan di fasilitas pelayanan kesehatan dengan tujuan utama adalah menurunkan risiko penularan terhadap tenaga kesehatan serta untuk mencegah morbiditas dan mortalitas maternal. Dan untuk menurunkan risiko penularan ini, karena terdeteksi 13,7% ibu hamil tanpa gejala bisa menunjukkan hasil yang positif. Oleh karena itu, bidan harus menggunakan APD minimal level 2, serta melaksanakan rujukan persalinan terencana untuk ibu bersalin dengan risiko, termasuk yang dicurigai ODP dan PDP. Next. Ini bisa kita lihat minimal yang perlu kita siapkan ketika kita melakukan pertolongan persalinan menggunakan APD level 2. Next. Bisa kita lihat bahwa proporsi persalinan dengan tenaga yang berkualifikasi tertinggi, di mana kalau kita lihat tempat persalinan ibu melahirkan yang ada di praktek mandiri bidan sebesar 29%, sedangkan di Polindes 4%. Jadi kalau kita lihat dari proporsi ini bahwa pertolongan yang diberikan oleh bidan ketika persalinan itu sebesar 62,7%. Cukup bermakna. Oleh karena itu, kewaspadaan standar yang harus dilakukan oleh bidan di dalam melakukan pertolongan persalinan. Next. Di dalam pelayanan KB yang perlu kita cermati bahwa ada muncul permasalahan di pelayanan KB karena selama ini pelayanan KB ini belum mencapai target yang optimal, apalagi di era pandemik ini. Pelayanan KB cenderung menurun, oleh karena itu kita harus lebih meningkatkan informasi pada aseptor, sehingga dia tetap datang pada saat waktunya berkunjung. Nah, permasalahan yang bisa muncul adalah terhambatnya pelayanan KB ini khususnya pada pelayanan KB yang MKJP, IUD, ya, itu biasanya sudah waktunya habis atau ganti itu tidak ganti karena adanya pembatasan kunjungan ke fasilitas kesehatan kecuali dalam kondisi darurat. Banyaknya aktivitas mudik masyarakat yang berasal dari zona merah ke tempat kita, jadi kita harus benar-benar hati-hati. Permasalahan yang keempat adalah kurangnya kesadaran masyarakat dalam menggunakan masker, ya, tidak seperti dulu. Karena aseptor KB ini datang ke tempat kita tanpa masker. Oleh karena itu perlu kita ingatkan kembali bagaimana pada saat menyesuaikan kondisi saat ini. Oke, next. Kita bisa lihat bagaimana
Bu Nani.
Ya.
Bu Nani, waktunya tinggal 5 menit lagi ya, Bu.
Oke. Bagaimana peran bidan dalam pelayanan KIAKB? Jadi presentasi tenaga pemberi pelayanan ANC ini yang diberikan oleh bidan cukup bermakna, yaitu 82,4%. Ya. Next. Sekarang kita lihat bagaimana pelayanan KB ini peran bidan memberikan suatu kontribusi juga di dalam memberikan pelayanan KB, yaitu sebesar 55,90% ya, yang diberikan oleh bidan di tempat bidan sendiri dan bidan yang ada di desa. Next. Tadi sudah kita sampaikan bahwa pelayanan terhadap bayi baru lahir juga tetap harus kita lakukan di masa pandemik ini. Terlihat bahwa tenaga kesehatan yaitu bidan 51% di dalam memberikan pelayanan bayi baru lahir. Next. Nah, bagaimana pelayanan KB dan kesehatan reproduksi dengan meminimalkan risiko tertularnya COVID-19? Ya. Yang pertama, mengakses materi KIE ini dengan secara online, ya, tidak seperti dulu lagi. Dan jika ada keluhan, buat perjanjian dulu sebelum pemeriksaan. Jika tidak memungkinkan, dapat menggunakan metode kondom maupun senggama terputus. Baru kalau sudah ada perjanjian, baru aseptor ini diperkenankan untuk datang ke tempat kita. Next. Pelayanan saat KB pada masa pandemi COVID-19. Jadi pada saat pelayanan, bidan harus memakai APD sesuai dengan standar. Ya. Saat pelayanan, menerapkan physical distancing, termasuk saat menyerahkan pil maupun kondom terhadap pasien. Ya. Jadi pasien ini harus menggunakan masker dan kita harus menggunakan APD. Next. Sekarang kita lanjutkan bagaimana peran bidan sebagai pengelola pelayanan kebidanan pada masa pandemik. Itu dengan mengembangkan aplikasi sistem informasi yang menjembatani komunikasi antar pelayanan yang dari jenjang rendah ke tinggi itu bisa menggunakan akses sisrut. Ya. Next. Di dalam peran bidan sebagai penyuluh dan konselor pada ya, jadi peran bidan sebagai penyuluh dan konselor pada masa pandemi diharapkan bidan memanfaatkan pengembangan teknologi yang ada saat ini. Jadi bukan offline lagi, lebih banyak kita menggunakan online. Ya. Jadi bagaimana media konseling ini juga bisa kita terapkan. Bisa menggunakan banner yang diletakkan di tempat praktek kita, ya, sehingga semua pasien bisa melihat, gitu ya. Jadi KIE dan konseling ini pada Ibu Nifas juga dapat dilaksanakan secara online. Jangan sampai Ibu Nifas ini lepas dari pemantauan kita. Next. Nah, sekarang kita lihat bagaimana peran bidan sebagai pendidik, pembimbing, fasilitator klinik pada masa pandemik ini. Mengacu pada penyelenggaraan pembelajaran dari Dirjen Dikti Kemendikbud, bahwa metode pembelajaran terutama di perguruan tinggi di semua zona itu dilaksanakan dengan cara online, termasuk pelaksanaan praktek, ya. Jadi belum direkomendasi untuk offline. Jadi kalau misalnya terpaksa sekali harus dihindari, jangan sampai ruangannya itu tertutup. Ya, jadi ruang harus maksud saya hindari ruangan yang tertutup. Jadi ruangannya harus terbuka, tidak seperti dulu pada saat kita offline, ya. Baik, dengan pendidikan model online ini harus tetap semangat kolaborasi, gotong royong, dan proses pembelajaran ini bisa bermakna. Next. Sebagai penggerak masyarakat, bidan harus membangun interaksi dengan baik dan saling terbuka pada Ibu, sehingga Ibu aware terhadap kita sebagai seorang bidan di dalam memberikan pelayanan. Next. Dan edukasi yang penting terhadap pemberdayaan keluarga yang harus dilakukan tiap hari adalah jaga jarak, pakai masker, cuci tangan, dan kenali gejala bila perlu dilakukan pemeriksaan, dan nutrisi yang seimbang. Next. Oke, tadi saya sampaikan bahwa peran bidan antara lain yang tidak kalah penting adalah sebagai peneliti, sehingga masalah-masalah yang terjadi menjadikan inspirasi seorang bidan, menjadikan inspirasi bagi bidan untuk melakukan penelitian untuk meningkatkan kesehatan ibu dan anak. Next. Jadi bidan harus tetap pandai, cerdas, kreatif, inovatif, ya, mampu bersaing di dalam era yang global, dan tetap semangat. Next. Rekomendasi kebijakan di dalam masa pandemik ini, yang pertama adalah mewajibkan social distancing, cuci tangan dengan sabun dan air yang mengalir, selalu menggunakan masker, ya, dan patuhi protokol yang berlaku. Termasuk di dalamnya adalah kita sebagai pemberi asuhan kebidanan. Kita lanjutkan ke bagaimana peran praktek mandiri bidan di dalam masa pandemik COVID-19 ini. Yang penting di dalam praktek mandiri bidan ini menyiapkan tempat secara standar. Yang dulu tidak tersedia tempat cuci tangan, sekarang minimal itu harus kita siapkan. Next. Baik, akhir dari materi saya, yang penting adalah self-confident, adaptasi kebiasaan yang baru, yaitu new habit, new media, new culture. Dan jangan lupa, yang terakhir adalah selalu berdoa. Saya kira itu yang bisa saya sampaikan. Terima kasih. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Miss Nani. Maybe Prof. Pichen got a little bit confused about what's actually Bu Nani say. I wanted to highlight the message from Bu Nani. Bu Nani tell us about how the community reached the midwifery during pandemic, how the community applying the protocol to get to midwifery when they want to get birth control or antenatal care or intranatal care. So that's all Bu Nani said about the presentation. Because Bu Nani loves so much bahasa Indonesia, so she say in Indonesian. So the presentation is over. Now we have we turn to the Q&A sessions. So I got so much question in here, especially for all the speaker. For the first question is from Lisa Yunita Wijayanti from Institute of Health Science Indonesia Maju. The question is for Dr. Zam. Dr. Zam, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, I'll try to read the question. The question is, how does the health education institution conduct online teaching and learning from the home of each post-COVID-19 with problem experiencing network difficulty in the interior? I mean, maybe the point is the student have bad connectivity about the internet, so how the IUTM to solve problem when the student has poor connection.
Okay, thank you for the question. Terima kasih ya atas soalan. Okay, so for the how to conduct online learning, because of the main mediums is online, so you need to have a very good internet connectivity. Is undeniable that some students have difficulty. If I can recall, there's few students that posted in the social media, in the Instagram, that they needs to go to other places outside their homes, to other places to get the stable internet connections. Yeah. So our government also have internet. You need to you get drain of your data. So our government has initiative to give all the university students RM 30 ringgits of the data. They provide the data to all the students in order to get them connected for their online learnings. And then for UITM as well, we also have initiative to help the student without any, who have a difficult student without any laptop. We try to trace them. Those who really needs the laptop, we sponsored the laptop to the student. So we try, in conclusions, the universities, the governments try our best to ensure that the students have opportunities to learn via online, because this will be carried out until end of this year. So we need to make sure that students, no one left behind. They are all needs to be participate in class in whatever method that we need to use. So I think that the initiative that the governments and UITM have done to help the students, especially in terms of the connectivity, internet connections.
Okay, thank you, Zam. Now we turn to Ms. Rohani. So there is a question to Ms. Rohani. The question is from UNISA itself. So the question is, how to minimize the gap between school and clinical education? Ms. Rohani. Ms. Rohani, hello.
Hello. Okay. Thank you for the questions. So it maybe can explain a bit combination in Malay and also in English. So how to minimize the gap? Definitely, I believe both sides need to have the same view, same mission, and also good collaboration within school and clinical. I do have an idea that something like this, when we are talking about same department, saying that academician and also staff managing the hospital being under one department, so that whatever issue, whatever setting up policy, we can do that together. So for me, that can minimize the gap. Anything happen in the clinical, any policy changes, updated equipment can be informed, can be discussed and informed, and also being harmonized, dealing together with academician and also clinical. So I think that should be a good way to minimize the gap.
Okay, thank you for Ms. Rohani. Now the question is for speaker from Prof. Pichen. Prof. Pichen, are you there? Prof. Pichen?
Yes.
Yes, we have question for you. So the question is from Lisa Yunita Wijayanti from Institute of Health Science Indonesia, Maju. The question is, how do deal with issue about the quality of education and skill related to professional nurse that have not been evenly distributed in the global future?
I didn't hear very clearly about the question. Can you repeat again? What's the
okay?
quality?
I'll try to read it again. I'll try to repeat. The question is, how do deal with issue about the quality of education and skill related to professional nurse that have not been evenly distributed in the global future?
I think it's a lot of opportunity you can get into training. You have a lot of opportunity For example, at our university, we received a participant from Indonesia to come to our institute for short-term training. So it actually is a lot of opportunity you can get yourself, different kind of training.
Does it mean that we have to improve ourselves to go to training abroad like that, Miss?
Yeah, you need to get a different experience. Yes, you need to.
Okay, thank you for the answer. Now we turn to the fourth speaker, Bu Nani. Would you like to get your question in bahasa or in English? Bu Nani mau pakai bahasa Inggris apa bahasa Indonesia pertanyaannya?
Indonesia.
Oh, Indonesia.
Indonesia, Miss.
Oh, jadi pertanyaannya adalah apa peran bidan dalam hal ini dalam memberikan konseling kepada masyarakat, mengingat banyak sekarang itu masyarakat yang sudah menganggap bahwa ini nih sudah era normal, bukan pandemik lagi. Jadi bagaimana memberikan pengertian tersebut kepada masyarakat umum?
Baik, terima kasih Mbak Zida pertanyaannya. Perlu pemahaman di dalam masyarakat dengan era new normal ini akan merubah kebiasaan kita. Jadi masyarakat harus diberikan suatu konseling terkait dengan perilaku hidup sehat di dalam kehidupan sehari-hari, terutama pada ibu hamil, bersalin maupun aseptor KB. Tidak seperti dulu. Sehingga di era new normal ini masyarakat harus sudah membiasakan aktivitas sehari-hari terkait dengan perilaku hidup sehatnya. Pakai masker, ya, selalu cuci tangan dengan sabun di air mengalir. Pada saat kunjungan ke klinik juga harus menggunakan masker. Sehingga masyarakat akan bisa beradaptasi dengan kondisi yang ada saat ini. Miss Ida?
Oke, thank you Bu Nani. Jadi tetap harus menerapkan protokol COVID gitu ya. Oke, now turn to the first speaker again, Dr. Zam. We still have last question for Dr. Zam. So the question is from Windy Pratanti from Poltekkes Yogyakarta, Ministry of Health. The question is, responding to the community stigma about the effect of learning during COVID and post-COVID on medical school graduate. Is there some stigma to the graduate student during the pandemic?
Stigma in relation to what? Can you explain in more detail what kind of stigma?
Stigma especially in their skill, because they have a skill in laboratory in hospital, but with the new and in the pandemic, they do not allow to hospital. So there's you graduate in 2020, so you have less skill. So that's
Okay, so for your information, we are all programs in Malaysia, they need to undergo the accreditations under Malaysian Qualification Agency as well as under our Malaysian Nursing Boards. So all of any changes that we're going to do to our curriculum, to our syllabus, we need to get approval from these two accreditation bodies. So according to our Malaysian Nursing Board, they didn't allow any changes to the clinical practicals in hospital. So meaning that all programs, diploma and bachelor's degree, student need undergo 52 weeks of clinical. So meaning that we don't do any changes to the clinical, but for UITM, we postpone to the clinical to the next year, meaning that they still need to go to complete the hours of our clinical. So there's no changes related to the skills and so on. Even though, as you can see, that we teach the students via YouTube about the procedures, but it's only temporary, temporary. As the COVID-19 subside and the student can come back to the campus, we will go back to our normal routine. Student will come to the labs and then we'll go to the normal simulation like what we have conducted before. So I think the stigma related to online learnings has not exist in our institution and in our country so far, because that's just temporary measures during this crisis. That's all.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Zam. Now we turn to Ms. Rohani for the second questions. Ms. Rohani. The question is from Nailil Asmahani from Stikes Mudia Husada Madura. The question is, usually the student practice in hospital, but during the pandemic, they have to get the clinical thing only in labs. And how in UMS, Malaysia Sabah, during the skill labs during the pandemic, do they have skill in lab only or what?
Okay, talking about UMS, because the same like what Prof. Samslisa said, our government did not allow yet student to clinical. So all our students are currently still at home. We actually deal with teaching online still, but our nursing board didn't allow us to cut any hours of the clinical. So means that what happened now? Actually, we are postponing the takwim for the longer to the next year. Means there is no questions either. Skill can be done through online only. No, there is no question. We cannot actually bergantung ataupun saying that okay, with online enough for the clinical. I also didn't believe through online, student can achieve good clinical skill. Definitely they need to apply clinical in clinical setting. So what happened here now, we actually just preparing our skill lab to accept the student later on when they come to our college, back to our college. Means the face-to-face still need to be done. Demonstration to students still need to be done. So we cannot depend only online for talking about skill.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Pani, for the answer. Now we turn to Prof. Pichen. This is the last question for you, Prof. Pichen. Hello, Prof. Pichen.
Yes.
Okay, this is the last question for you. So the question is from Yusmita Fitriani from Poltekkes Kemenkes Palembang. The question is, how to plan an immunization visit during COVID pandemic? How to plan an immunization visit during the pandemic?
Plan what?
Immunization visits.
I'm sorry, I couldn't quite understand your question here.
The question is how to plan an immunization visit during the pandemic. Maybe if we go abroad, the country has a policy to.
Oh no! We sorry. We stopped all the activities this summer.
Okay.
So the government stopped the student go overseas. So no overseas learning for this summer. And actually the host country, they don't receive our student too. So the whole 2020 we have no learning overseas. So we have to wait until maybe next year, next spring. Okay, so that's that's the answer. We don't have any overseas learning plan for this year.
So what about the foreigners that want to go to Taiwan? Is it still open or not?
We haven't opened to visitor yet. We start to receive returning student. We have some students went home for the winter vacation, and they can and because of the COVID-19, we closed the door, so they cannot go home back for the semester. Now we are going to receive the student from different areas, from Hong Kong, from Macau, from Vietnam, from Australia, and the returning student, they are they have to follow the quarantine, which all the visitor or the coming back student have to follow the 2 weeks quarantine rule before they can come back to our campus. So now we are dealing with the coming back returning student. So we are not sure if we are able to receive student next semester. For example, every November we received Indonesian trainee to come to our campus for 2 weeks short-term exchange. And until now, we still don't know if we are able to have the program this year. Okay, so that's the situation. There's a lot of uncertainty. But our student on campus, clinical, everything is normal. We have no restriction for our students' learning activity. Everything is in classroom. Clinical never stop. We have all the clinical and learning activity as planned. We don't have any interruption of clinical learning during this COVID-19 time. So so far our students are doing okay for their learning. The only problem is the student went back home to their country. They are not allowed to come back. So that's some of the students have the interruption of their learning. But we open the online learning for those students, and they have to make up the clinical after they come back from their country.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Vincent. So unlike Indonesia and Malaysia that have interrupted clinical thing in the student in how to improve their skill in hospital. So Taipei is not really interrupted with this COVID for the student in hospital. Is it? Okay.
Our student is we place our student in the hospital as usual, no interruption.
That's good. That's good for Taipei, and that's good for us to hearing that Taiwan is good in handling the COVID-19.
We work very hard.
Okay.
From very beginning, you know, from the end of the last year, so we work so hard because we have the experience from SARS.
Yes.
During SARS time, there's 2 doctors and 6 nurses died from SARS, and we are so sad from that event. So we developed so many necessary personnel to control the outbreak. For example, we have infection control nurse at the hospital. Infection control nurse, their duty is to do the surveillance, to do the health education, and they're truly the specialty of infection control. So every hospital have their infection control team, and the core member of the team is infection control nurse. So that's what we learned from SARS. It's a very good, very unique professional nurse at the hospital, and it helped the hospital a lot, not just during the difficult time, COVID-19. It's regular personnel. It means we have surveillance, regular surveillance of the hospital infection and control of hospital infection. We follow very strict rule. That's what we learned from the SARS. Actually, there's many articles talk about Taiwan's experience published. So if you are interested in Taiwan's experience, you can get the literature article. For example, there's one from International Journal of Nursing Study at the special editorial talk about the nursing leadership and nursing policy, like what I just mentioned, the infection control nurse and the nurse-led quarantine call center. Actually, nurses play very important role during this pandemic.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. Kitchens. Okay, now
I would like to extend our welcome. If you have any chance to come to Taipei Medical University, either for the short-term training or for the international master or PhD program, we are certainly welcome. It's a very good learning environment in Taipei. 2 weeks learning or the master or PhD program. You are so welcome.
That sounds great. So maybe next time we will join you at Taipei Medical School after the outbreak is over.
Great.
Thank you, Prof. Chen.
Yes.
Now turn to Bu Nani untuk pertanyaan yang terakhir dari Ercia Purwaningtyas, yaitu bagaimana memaksimalkan peran bidan selama pandemik ini.
Tanya Mbak Sida.
Bagaimana memaksimalkan peran bidan? Langkah nyatanya apa dalam masa pandemik ini?
Oke, terima kasih Mbak Sida pertanyaannya. Jadi bagaimana untuk memaksimalkan peran bidan di era pandemik ini? Dengan adanya masa pandemik ini, kita harus memanfaatkan dan mengembangkan teknologi kesehatan yang ada di era pandemik ini. Jadi kita buat ruang pada ibu hamil sehingga pada saat kita praktek, kita membuat grup WA pada ibu hamil. Begitu juga pada ibu KB dan masa nifas, sehingga meminimalkan kita tatap muka dengan pasien. Tidak kalah penting peran bidan yang harus dilakukan di dalam era pandemik ini selalu memberikan KIE dan konseling pada saat kehamilan sampai dengan masa nifas, bahwa pelayanan ibu dan anak itu tetap dilakukan dengan kewaspadaan standar. Jadi pemeriksaan kehamilan sesuai dengan jadwal yang sudah kita bicarakan tadi, ibu bersalin, ibu nifas, ya. Bayi baru lahir untuk imunisasi jadwalnya harus tetap dilakukan. Dengan catatan pelaksanaan imunisasi harus dilakukan dengan protokol yang berlaku terkait dengan bidan sendiri dan pengasuh atau ibunya ketika datang ke praktek kita. Ya. Jadi prinsipnya kita harus menggunakan teknologi kesehatan yang ada di era pandemik ini. Jadi untuk ibu hamil kita buka ruang tersendiri buat grup WA, ibu aseptor KB juga begitu. Karena apa? Dengan adanya pandemik ini, terutama ibu hamil, itu takut untuk datang kontrol. Ya, sehingga masalah-masalah yang ada di ibu hamil yang dirasakan itu bisa diskusi dengan kita lewat online. Begitu juga aseptor KB. Kalau kita lihat di grafiknya tadi, pada masa pandemik, yaitu mulai bulan Maret, itu kunjungan aseptor KB menurun. Untuk itu harus kita sikapi. Jangan sampai aseptor KB ini yang waktunya kontrol tidak kontrol. Akhirnya nanti muncul baby boom, gitu ya, kelahiran yang tidak kita inginkan yang banyak sekali, yang akhirnya akan mempengaruhi morbiditas dan mortalitas ibu dan anak. Saya kira itu Mbak Sida, terima kasih.
Oke, terima kasih untuk Bu Nani. I think that's all for the Q&A session because the time is running. So this is what a great session we have. So thank you for all the speaker for the great presentation. Thank you for all participants. We hope we still get something useful from this webinar. Once again, I want to thank you for the collaboration between IUCM, University Malaysia Sabah, and from Taipei Medical School, Medical University. Thank you so much, Dr. Zam, Ms. Rohani, and Prof. Pichens. Good day and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Now we turn back to the MC, Ms. Yurika.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Sida. Very interesting presentation from the four speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, before we close this event, for all participants, please turn on your screen video for taking picture with taking picture together. Okay, hold on. Okay. Thank you. This is the end of this international webinar. Let's close this event by saying hamdalah, alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Hopefully, what we get on this webinar can be useful for us in the future. Thank you for all speakers and participants for your kind attention. See you on the next event. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.